Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. This is going to be a short video, inshallah. Somebody hit me up and had a request for me to kind of do a short video on how to navigate your way through the Quran when it comes to looking for particular verses and things like that, particular ayats, and just different things that you're trying to find in the Quran, possibly subject matters and things like that. So, and I'm glad I was asked that, man, because it's a lot of stuff that could be shown. And not to simplify it, I'm going to show why not to simplify it. And this, alhamdulillah, what I'm finna speak on, this is from being around Islam for so long, from in the deen so long, before the internet, before Google, and dealing with a lot of different translations of the Quran, like the Ahmadiyyan Quran. But anyway, not to get into that. So it was a time before the internet. Like right now, you could kind of just Google. You know what I'm saying? But Google was shortlisted. This way, you could get more out of it the way that I'm finna show you. And this is, like I say, this before the internet, before Google. Like if it's a particular verse, sometimes you could just put in Google, put in like Quran ayat, and then, or Quran verse, and then whatever the topic is you're looking for, then type that in after it and hit enter, and then Google can kind of lead you the way. Sometimes it'll help, sometimes it won't, but this is the old school way, before Google, the internet. So, but the reason why this, like I'm saying, this is a lot better, because it could lead you down a path to knowing even more. Because you, in order for you to Google, you have to know what you're looking for. And Google is just going to answer based off of that particular question. It might be a couple of things, because it might be some ayats that's similar, or some subject matters that's similar, so it might give you a little more, but doing it this way, it leads to a whole lot more than that. So, for one, this one, I'm going to use the Noble Quran. And just a little detail on the Noble Quran, right? Right here, what this has right here in Arabic, all of this right here, is basically explaining that the Noble Quran is a summarized version of the Quran with tafsirs. So as you see what it says right here, exactly what this says in Arabic, of course that's Quran al-Karim, but what it, and a lot of people don't know, in the older language of Arabic, Kareem meant noble. So that's why it's called the Noble Quran. Kareem has a lot of definitions, but you know what I'm saying? But one of the definitions of Kareem in an older language was noble. I actually heard a scholar break that down. So that's why it has the Noble Quran, Quran al-Karim. So it's really translating Quran al-Karim in English, the Noble Quran. So right here what it says in English, which is all this in Arabic, interpretation of the meanings of the Noble Quran in the English language, a summarized version of At-Tabari, that's a set of tafsirs, Al-Qurtubi, that's a set of tafsirs, Ibn Kathir, set of tafsirs, with commentary from Sahih al-Bukhari, hadiths, right? So all of those books has been summarized into one volume. So that's why you see a lot of parentheses in there, because those parentheses try to bring an understanding to the ayat based off of these versions of tafsir. So those be real explanations from the books of tafsirs mixed in with the ayat for people who don't get the whole volumes. And I'm explaining that because a lot of people say that Saudi Arabia, and these just things I've heard, They say that Saudi Arabia put things in the parentheses because they want to lead this version more towards a Wahhabi understanding, which is foolishness. So again, these things is from the tafsirs. So the Noble Quran is the Quran with a summarized version of tafsirs with a summarized version of the Quran with the tafsirs, and then also hadith commentary. But the hadiths that they use commentary from is Sahih Bukhari. So you have a lot of footnotes and different things like that to lead to it. So one of the ways to kind of navigate your way through is, and another beautiful thing is, go to your glossaries, right? I don't know how well you can see that because of this lighting, but go to your glossary. So even if you don't have a Noble Quran, you can go to your glossaries of these books, right? Now I'm pointing this out because right here you see it might be backwards, but anyway, right here where my finger is, this might show backwards because it's showing backwards on here. But anyway, this is the adcam. So I just did a video on wajib, mustahab, mubah. So you'll notice in this list, I don't even know why I'm still showing it because it's backwards. But in your Quran, it'll have these lists. The wajib, mubah. But remember, if anybody who watched it, it's in the Al-Wajibat series. I asked a question in there, why is halal not on this list? Of the 5 things, some people say the 5 categories that the sunnah can be described in. Your actions, your legal actions of the sunnah. So like right here, adham, which they saying is legal status. So according to Islamic law, there are 5 kinds of adham, legal status. So this is an action in Islam or a sunnah that's in Islam. So is that action wajib? Is that action recommended or desirable but not compulsory, which would be mustahab? Or is it forbidden, haram, prohibited, haram? Or is it just disliked but not forbidden, which is makruh? And then what they have in here, lawful and allowed, they actually have halal. So in the list that I put, because it came from the book of obligatory matters, they have mubah, which an action is neutral. But like I'm saying, your Quran speaks on these things. So even if you have like a different version, you still have some form of this in there. So it's good to go to the back of your Qurans, look at your glossaries, and look at some of the words and how they break down some of the words that's in the Quran to help you get a better understanding. So like you might be reading the Quran and then it have in English and then it might have an Arabic word, then it might have in parentheses or something. Go to your glossary and try to look that word up. It'll bring you more of an understanding, right? So not only with your glossary, so then also in your glossary you have things like this right here. So for instance, you have like, I know it ain't showing good, it don't look like it's showing good too clear, but anyway, you'll see where it has Ayatul Kursi. So let's say for instance you may wanted to know where Ayatul Kursi was or more about Ayatul Kursi. So you go in the back and you will see in your index Ayatul Kursi, and it'll say it's Quranic verse number 255 of Surah Al-Baqarah. Surah 2, ayat number 255. So there's a whole lot of stuff in here, right? That a person can learn about. Dhul Hijjah, Dhul Hulafa. There's a lot of stuff in here. Even when you come in here and see, this is a beautiful thing that a lot of people really neglect. So right here, it has hadith. Right there, because it might be showing backwards. But anyway, it has the term hadith. Look at all of that explanation. All of this, all the way down, right, is about hadith. For people who not really clear on what a hadith is, and they say Hadith is superstition. Just to give y'all a little bit of it. So in the hadith, in plural, the plural form, you say ahadith. So sometimes, because I hear people say ahadith, I use it sometimes, and people might try to correct you and say it's hadith. So when you refer to more than one hadith, plural, you say ahadith. So then it says the sayings, the deeds, approval, accurately narrated from the prophet. Right? Following are few classifications of hadith. So it show what's da'if. It show what's gharib. It show what's hasan. It show what's majhul, right? What's maktu, which is like disconnected. Then you have marfu. So it give you all the categories of hadith. So when people throw around, oh, that hadith is this, that hadith is that hadith is gharib, yada, 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 right? Then you have to know the difference between athar. Athar is also basically a form of hadith, because in the Arabic language, hadith kind of just means like news, report. But they try to keep hadith specifically to something that involves the Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam in Sharia terminology. So then an athar is basically a form of a hadith, but it's really mainly solely from a companion. So like Aisha may have told somebody something, but it wasn't from the Rasul, or broke down how she did something or discussed something. Those things are referred to as athar. Umar ibn Khattab, and may Allah be pleased with all of them, or Abu Bakr, they may have said something from their opinion or this and that. Those things are referred to as athar. So sometimes in certain books of hadith, Bukhari, all of them, the Sunans, you have athar mixed within those. So sometimes when people try to use things as dalil, you have to know, just because it's in Bukhari doesn't mean that it's a hadith of the Rasul, because it could be an athar from Umar. Now, not they name in an isnad. Not they name, not them who narrated the hadith. So anyway, when you look at that, you see things like hadith, and they give you a real good explanation of it. So then also, as you go through, like especially one of the beautiful things of the Noble Quran, we're going to get past the glossary, because that's should be enough for one to understand. So also in the back, it has things that break down Tawheed, or the categories of Tawheed, or some of them you will see where it has Tawheed, and they put it as Islamic monotheism, right? Islamic monotheism, because a lot of other religions is polytheism, right? Gotta pray in a second. It's polytheism, because they have multiple belief systems. Like for instance, instead of being one Allah, Allah is three. He's the Son, He's the Father, He's the Holy Ghost. Or He may be, they believe in multiple, the sun god, the moon god, the star god. Poly, which is basically multiple, just like people who in polygamy or polygyny. Polygyny is when the husband has more than one wife, but you see the poly on it. Polygamy is when it's basically like open, where she has multiple men and he has multiple women. That's polygamy. So there's a difference between polygamy and polygyny, but the poly on it is multiple. We'll just keep it short as multiple. So Tawheed is Islamic monotheism as opposed to polytheism, right? But it breaks down your categories of Allah, the uluhiyya, the rububiyya, the asima wa sifat, and it give a lot of detail. This is something that people really need to look into, right? So then it also So as it go through though, but I mean, I'm just saying anybody should take a look. So then also it has your shahada, which they refer to as a confession of a Muslim. But not only do it have the shahada, it has the adkan, or arkan, as some would say. But anyway, it has what validated, what invalidates it, the criteria of what makes it valid. Like you have to be saying these type of things, right? So it has a whole lot of information in it. Even when you look on there, Tawheed, right? Just to give you an example, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pages. So even when it comes to that 5th page, it even break down. It starts to come into your 5 pillars: Shahada, Salat, Zakat, Hajj, and fasting. But it also has the articles of faith: belief in Allah, His angels, His messengers, His books, the day of resurrection, Al-Qadr, and whatever Allah has ordained must come to pass. 1 second. Okay, I'm back. So it has like certain things that I've been talking about in Aqidah. So these is basically things of Aqidah. So this right here, you know what I'm saying? So it has important notes. The exceptions of righteous deeds depend on the following 2 basic conditions, right? Which must be fulfilled. The intentions while doing such deeds must be totally for Allah. So intentions and sincerity, they mixing in one category. Must be totally for the sake of Allah alone. Only for the sake of Allah only, without any showing off or gaining praises or fame, right? And then such deeds must be performed in accordance with the Sunnah, the legal way of Allah's Messenger, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the last and final prophet. So the first category, so usually they'll break it down in 3. So you'll see it sometimes worded in 3: intentions, sincerity, and done in the manner of Quran and Sunnah, right? Because Rasul taught you how to do it from the Quran. This one just put 1 and 2, intentions and sincerity, in there, because the intention to do it for Allah alone, that's the sincerity part. I'm sincerely doing this for Allah's alone. Yeah, like I'm doing it for you, but I'm doing it to please Allah. So it has these type of things mixed within there. But you know, unfortunately, a lot of us we don't look at any of this. You see what I'm saying? So then just to wrap it up, but then there's also a little bit on shirk and kufr. So it breaks down like the 3 categories of shirk: the major, the minor, and the hidden. You can have some hidden forms of shirk, right? Very important to read. And then, so then another point is to get to the point of, in the back, when people looking for ayats and stuff, you also have an index. So you got to be familiar with your Quran. So like, let's say you looking for some verses about Prophet Isa or Jesus. You go to your index. Let's just go through here and look and see, because I said Jesus, right? Or Isa. Let's see, I don't even know if it's going to be in Jesus or Isa. So right here, it says Jesus, son of Miriam. It's going to give you every single verse on Jesus. So you can go find every ayat that's about Jesus. It'll give you every single one. Like some other stuff they got here, injustice. But y'all get the picture. Istawa, the verses of Allah rising. It'll give you all of them. It'll give you the chapter and the verse. So go to the back into your index, and but the beauty of this, what Google won't give you, like for instance, signs of the hour, it'll give you all these, and then you'll see more than you asking that one specific question. Like one right here, they pray with laziness and to be seen of men. A lot of people might not even know to look that up. What ayat is that? That's in Surah 4, ayat 142. So the lowest depths of the fire. So anyway, but as you go through there, even things like let's see if they have there's a lot of things in here, but you know, you can find your ayatul kursis in here. You can find your ayats about Jumu'ah, the Jumu'ah prayer, anything you could think of. Just go to the back and look, and about the mar, about talaq, divorce, verses on marriage. So when you go in the back, you could pull up marriage, and then it'll give you every single thing about marriage as far as the ayats. So that's one of the best ways to learn to start navigating through your Quran, is the index in the back. So, and then like one thing that I do, I look for stuff like Allah's mercy. This is one of like some of my old things, some of my notes. I have a little notepad, and then I go through myself while I'm reading and find every verse on Allah's mercy. Now, while I got my book, let me see if it matches up with my book. It might be some more in the book. I did it different. So as I went through the index, I didn't see one specifically on mercy. So I had a different method. So as I was going through reading, I would mark them down because I was looking specifically. So like to give an example, Surah 9:71. Now this is also the clear Quran. And then another way to keep up with yourself, when you reading and you come across an ayat that catches your eye or it's in a specific subject matter, write it down in the front of your book or the back of them. Sometimes your book will come with some blank pages, specifically, like this is all blank. These things are specifically for you to put notes or references so that you can go back and return. So like even right here, blank pages front and back. This is for you to write where you things that caught your eye, and then you could go back and re-look at them. So look, like right here, or like I do, we'll look at 971 so y'all can see what I mean by Allah's mercy. So this is in Surah At-Tawbah, right? Ayat number 71. O Prophet, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, struggle against the disbelievers and the hypocrites and be firm with them. Oh wait, that's 73, I'm sorry. 71. The believers, both men and women, are guardians of one another. They encourage good and forbid evil, establish salah and pay alms tax, and obey Allah and His Messenger. It is they who will be shown Allah's mercy. So if you one of the individuals that's looking for some mercy from Allah, like let's say you feel like you having a hard time, like Allah punishing you, and you want to start to get some of Allah's mercy, tighten up and get into that. This is a verse that's showing you how you can get Allah's mercy, right? Because it's saying, like it say, it is they who will be shown Allah's mercy, right? Another one, 57:28, because I don't want this to get too long, just to show another one. Surah 57, which is iron, right? 57, Surah 57, ayat number 28. O people of faith, which is Iman, fear Allah and believe in His Messenger, and He will grant you a double share of His mercy. So if you fear Allah and believe in His Messenger, this don't mean like I'm scared of Allah. This means when you're getting ready to do something wrong, fear Allah at that moment, stop and go the other direction, turn back to Allah. because you're heading in a direction that doesn't lead to Allah. So stop, Itaki Allah, stop at that moment, fear Allah at that moment, and make a better decision. Believe in his messenger, not just I believe that Prophet Muhammad is the messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, but I'm going to get into them hadiths and practice the Quran the way he taught us to teach it. That's a belief, because you got to keep in mind, when you look at what Iman is, it's more than I believe this. Well, anybody who watched my Wajibat videos, you will see where these beliefs is what's in the heart, what's on the tongue, and what comes through the limbs. So this is it got to be in your heart, it got to be in your speech, and it got to be in your actions. Not just, like for instance, I believe the sky is outside. It's more than that. So you got to have more belief in the Rasul. You got to be up on his sunnah with yaqeen, with sincerity, with certainty and sincerity as well, because your deeds is based off of intention, sincerity, and it got to be done in the way of the Quran and the Sunnah. So, and anyone who's able to do that, Allah will give you, Allah tell us in the Quran, Allah Azza wa Jal will grant you a double share of his mercy. Just to touch one more, and then I'm going to show you one more thing about navigating through your Quran for some different things, and we're going to use the clear Quran for that point. So then you go to 49:10, right? The believers are but one brotherhood. This includes sisterhood, right? The believers are but one brotherhood. So make peace between your brothers and your sisters, and be mindful of Allah, which is consciousness. Be conscious of Allah. Some people say that's what taqwa is, right? Be conscious of Allah so you may be shown his mercy. So that's some of the things that I do. I go through and go find all the verses on how to get mercy from Allah. Then I keep me a little note. You see what I'm saying? I go through and keep me a little note. And I keep these whenever I want to go back and dig through them. I even got some on who Allah doesn't guide. I got some notes like this on those who Allah doesn't guide, because that's powerful, because it's referring to the Muslims. So as a part of with your index, also in your you will see like places for prostrations in the back of your Quran. Some Qurans have du'as for when you finish. So then, like for instance, in this one, this is more like this your Quran al-Kareem, right? This is more of a thematic index, because the clear Quran breaks your Quran down in themes. So like one of the examples is right here, like even Nas, mankind. It'll give you a little bit of history, and then it'll also give you, like if it's Meccan, if it's Madani, if it was revealed in Mecca or Medina, then it'll give you a little theme of what you should get out of the surah, right? Or some type of context. So then you'll have like divine qualities in Allah. So it'll give you all the ayats on that. So this is really the same, but a little bit different. Signs in Allah's creation, tadabbur. So these are the signs that should remind us of Allah, and you can go look at every ayat that's on those things. Your prostration verses, where everywhere where you're supposed to prostrate when you're reading the Quran. So they give you every verse on prostration. I don't know why I keep putting that up there, because I think it's going to show backwards because of the camera. But the importance of zakat. So you need to familiarize yourself with the Quran. Learn how to go look in the back. Look at what's in the back. Look at your indexes. Look at your glossaries. Look at some of the fiqh things they have in the back, which I'm just going to use that as understanding. How the religion should be understanding. It'll break down Tawheed. It'll break down the categories, the 3 categories, and then the 5 or the 6 articles of faith, the 3 or the 2 categories of shirk, because some just do 2, some do 3, some put the hidden mixed in with the minor shirk. It's just an opinion of particular scholars of the past. You see what I'm saying? How it's categorized. But the thing is, whether if they do 2 categories, the third is mixed in it. So sometimes it's broke down a little easier to make it simple from other people, and then there's a hadith that particular person may have never seen. Then a hadith of Rasulullah put it in 3. So get familiar with your Quran, man, and learn how to go look in the back. Look at the indexes. Look at the glossaries. And it'll start to lead you how to navigate your way through the verses and through the Quran ayahs and different things like that. Inshallah, sufficient. I guess I really don't usually do this. Somebody asked, because I guess sometimes people share my videos, so they don't know how to go find the rest of them. I guess I don't really be promoting myself like that, but you can click the Simplifying Islam, and you click that when you go to the video. Click the Simplifying Islam part, and then it'll lead you to, and it'll be like, go to the channel. Then you go to the channel, and it'll show you all of the videos. I guess if you want to subscribe, you can subscribe, and then you can hit the notification for all, and then it will give you a notification anytime I post a video. But that's up to you. I usually don't really put that in, but this is the second time that somebody reached out to me with some questions or with something for somebody they shared the video with. But that's, so anybody who may watch them, that's a way that you could do it. Just click the Simplifying Islam and then go to the channel, and then you can find the rest of the videos. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Any mistakes I make, because sometimes I do have slips in the words that I use, not what I'm saying. I might use the wrong word at the time because I'm talking and I'm rambling, and none of this is written down. So any mistakes I made came from the shaitan and myself, and anything I said that's correct came from Allah Azza wa Jal. And may Allah bless us all and grant us the highest levels of Jannah. Ameen.